Welcome, everybody. This is another episode of Vets Talk. I'm your host, Omar Bria. This is your other host, Jose Cuellar. We're going to be going over our experiences with how we went through it with disability and I didn't even know that, that I was going to be able to get it. But everybody has their own approach to it, especially when it comes to the military. Like a lot of people don't really know how to go about it. They give you like a brief breakdown when you're about to get out.
Yeah.
But they don't really give you all the information, all the resources that are available, especially depending on like what city you're at, what state. A lot of the free resources aren't necessarily accessible just because there's such a big group of people that are going to try to get those free resources, and there's not enough people working at those free resource like government funded places that it kind of puts you at the back burner. Like you
Yeah.
don't necessarily know where to go, and you get a lot of information from just veterans like ourselves. I myself, I waited like 10 months until when I got out, and that's when I actually went to put in to try to claim, just because I was having a lot of like pains after, and trying to seek help, therapy, stuff like that. And it wasn't until Jose told me to actually submit a claim
Yeah.
that I actually went through it, and finally it took me a year to get my response back. But I would have never done that if it wasn't for Jose. But yeah, that's, just go over our little experiences. How about yourself, Jose?
Yeah. So I'm excited about this segment because I don't know what it is about the military. Maybe they do tell us, maybe they don't really. I don't know exactly, but I know a lot of veterans out there, they don't know anything when it comes to do with getting your VA disabilities, how to get it started, if you're getting a little bit, how to increase it, how to even enroll into the VA, which is something very, very simple. Because I've talked to a lot of fellow veterans that they've been going to the hospital for years, and they've been coming out of pocket for something that happened in the military. And so they could have been saving thousands and thousands of dollars, and on top of that, getting paid, and they didn't. So it's like, damn, So I'm excited about this, and like Omar said, there's no one way. We can just speak from our experience and from what we've seen with our fellow veterans. So going back to when I got out, to be honest, I don't really know exactly how I ended up, but I got injured in the military, and I think I was going to the Cairo, and I was, getting treated. So I remember getting out, I was still in pain. And I think that kind of sparked into like, what do I do now?
Yeah,
Do I go pay out of pocket? Is there some benefits?
that's the hard
And
part, trying to
so,
figure out how when you're
yeah,
out, because then when you're in, you don't want to go to get it on your record because you don't want to look bad in the military.
yeah,
But then when you get out, you're kind of at a standstill. So a lot of people do have that issue where they don't even know where to go after they get out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I was. And then, I started researching like if there's any like veteran facilities or whatnot. So I found, a facility that is called, the VA, the Veterans Affairs. And I went in there, and they told me that I needed to have like to be able to be enrolled, I needed to have a military connected disability. And I got all sorts of things from my lower back, my right shoulder, my right knee. And I was like, okay, where do I go? Where do I start? So the first thing that I would say is just go to your local Veterans Affair and just ask them, hey, like, what is the process to enroll? Right? That's what I did. I just went, and they were like, well, you need to get at least have a 0% disability. And I had a lot of things going on, but I didn't know what to do. So I told them, like, where do I go? They sent me to one area that was especially there to help us apply for disability and all that stuff. And so that's kind of like how I got started. And that's what I would recommend. Now, we can go deeper and into it. When I went, I didn't know how to talk to them. I didn't know how to let them know that I had been injured. A lot of us in the military, we don't want to go because we're gonna be, look like, oh, you're a bitch, and you're a little bitch because you're going to the dock or whatever,
Yeah.
or you won't be able to go do, I guess maybe like something that you want to go
Oh
do,
yeah.
and they're gonna give you like the shitty jobs or whatever
Yeah.
because you're injured.
Hmm.
So a lot of things play into you not going to dock.
Yeah. I remember when when I was in, I was still pretty young, and I remember I couldn't walk because I don't know where like my ankle, like I would wake up and my ankle would be like sprained, and it was probably from like the training, and then my lower back started giving out. There was times that I couldn't walk,
Yeah.
and I would go to medic, and they would just give me like muscle relaxers or a painkiller or some vitamin C packets.
Yeah.
And then from there, like I was like, okay, I'm like, fuck it, that's it. I'm just gonna push through.
Yeah.
But it sucks because once you get out, you don't have those people there anymore to give you what is needed to get through the pain, and it puts you in a tough position.
Yeah.
But luckily for me, the medic actually recorded a lot of my stuff, which, like I said, I didn't even know that I was actually getting that into my record
Nice.
until you told me to go apply, and I went and applied for a claim, and all that stuff, all that stuff was in my record, so that helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't even look for it until 10 months after.
Yeah.
Until then, I was like struggling trying to figure out like what chiropractor to go to.
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost me to like go to
Yeah.
these and things like that. So it's definitely good information as far as like going to your primary medic while you're still in. If you actually have issues, I mean, it sucks because it is frowned upon, especially by your leadership. Like when you
Yeah.
go to medical and stuff like that, or when you need to, someone needs to cover your slack of your watch or anything just because you're hurting. But at the end of the day, once you're out, just like every veteran struggles to when they get out, there's no accessibility anymore. So you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because once you're out, your leadership is good.
hits.
The reality
hits.
Your leadership is not there to to shun you anymore, and now you got to figure out how you're gonna pay for everything that you need to pay for,
Yeah.
and still be able to take care of your family if you have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something tough